Hey folks, Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be listening to this, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. All right, just a quick one from me today. An experience that I have all the time in my life. One of the values of recording these podcasts for me is finding that the advice or the suggestions, the things that I'm bringing up for all of you, reflecting that back on myself. So the question I have today for you is, are you listening to your own advice? Are you listening to your own advice? Now, often the experience I have, I'm sure you have a similar experience, is the advice that I'm giving to other people. If I pause for a moment and I think about my own life, my own circumstances, my own situations, I find that at least half the time I'm in need of the advice that I'm giving to other people. So, for example, if I'm talking to someone about snacking too much, often I can reflect and see the spaces where I'm snacking too much. If I'm talking to other people about getting to bed earlier, often I can reflect on myself and look at the places where I need to get to bed earlier. Often, if I'm talking about the effects of stress on someone's life, I can reflect and see I need that myself. Often, I need to listen to my own advice. And so I ask you, where you're helping other people, where you're making suggestions, where you're thinking, even silently to yourself, gosh, this person needs to do whatever it might be. I invite you to be reflective, to take one moment and look back at your own life, and do you need to listen to your own advice? I would hazard a guess, if you're anything like me, more often than not, we need to listen to our own advice. Listen, because the other thing is often we're looking for new answers, new information, to solve the issues, the problems, the concerns that are going on in our life. And it is true, sometimes we really do need new information, new approaches, new techniques to solve the problems that we have going on. But I would hazard a guess that at least 50% of the time, the answer is not new information, new techniques, because we can become collectors. Listen, all of us who love information like I do, we can easily become collectors. Well, let me check out this technique or that technique or the other technique. And before we know it, we have 3, 5, 10 different approaches that theoretically could work for what we should eat or how we should sleep or how to be more productive during the day or, like whatever the case may be. Often we already have multiple possible options in front of us. And it's not that we need to learn a new technique. Often it's that we need to apply what we already know. And one way we can do that is listen to our own advice. So the question simply put today is, are you listening to your own advice? Human beings, we are great at giving advice to other people. We all excel at it, right? What we're not so good at is listening to our own advice. And often that makes us hypocrites. Now, we can get into blame, shame, guilt cycles, not at all what we need. Instead, the next time you find yourself giving advice, either, directly, like speaking it, talking to someone and giving them some advice, or silently judging or giving advice to someone in their head, then I invite you to take a moment and reflect back on yourself. Do you need to take your own advice? And I'd hazard a guess that maybe at least 50% of the time you do. Rather than going out and seeking new information, at least half the time what we need to do is first apply the information that we already have at hand. All right, folks, so listen to your own advice. Listen to your own advice, and only when you really don't know what to do next or how to solve that situation is it time to gather more information. That can be reading a book or a blog or listening to a podcast, or it can definitely be consulting with an expert who can help shortcut that whole process for you. All right? So listen, the next step in gathering more information, what I need you to do next is go to the website, aspirenaturalhealth.com, and click on the button that says free reports. That's aspirenaturalhealth.com, ASPIRE naturalhealth.com. and click on the button that says free reports. There we have some great information on things like irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, GERD or heartburn, autoimmunity, and even how to find the right holistic doctor, because it is definitely not always an easy task for people. So you can go to aspirenaturalhealth.com, click on the free reports button. In those free reports, we've packed some great, useful information that we've seen be clinically relevant and helpful for people over the past decade of helping people with digestive issues and autoimmunity. We've had people tell us that just by reading the free reports and putting the information into practice in their lives, that they have transformed their lives, have gone on to improve what's going on for them and live bigger and better lives. And that's what we want for you. Our goal at Aspire Natural Health is to guide and support people who are dealing with digestive issues and autoimmunity to live bigger and better lives. Not just get their symptoms under control, but to transform their lives and to live bigger and better ones. All right, folks, and the first step to doing that is go to aspirenaturalhealth.com, click on the free reports button, and pick the report that is going to be most useful for you or your loved one. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Wishing you the best. Until next time, take care.